Hey, good morning, my friends. This is MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. I've got an update for you on the weather. It's about 90% going as planned, is what I talked about with you yesterday. But there is an update to a swath of a relatively small swath of heavy snow that I think we're going to see, and I'll show that to you. It's going to stretch from southern Michigan, south central Michigan, Jackson, Lansing, up through the Saginaw area, a little bit heavier by couple of inches more than what we talked about yesterday. Hey, good morning, Erica Golden. So let's get into it and show you what's going on for this morning and when this mess will all come to an end. Give you an update, and remember, if you have any questions, you can certainly ask those. I just put up a post, brand new post, explaining it all. If you want to reread, expect heavier snow amounts now in swath from southern Michigan to the thumb, and I'll show you this map here coming up in just a moment. Right here, this is the updated map for you, okay? So here's your radar image. Now, hey, good morning, Sylvie. Lansing, it's horrible out, she says. Okay, so what we have here is Detroit is 41 right now. Pontiac is 32, so the freezing line sits about like this. Let's see, Ann Arbor should be below freezing here shortly within the next hour. And then Flint is 29, Saginaw is 24, Mount Pleasant's 24, Grand Rapids 26, and by the time you get up to Grayling, it's 17. So definitely much colder air pouring in from the north, and you can see what's happening. You can see how the precipitation is moving southwest to northeast, so the cold air undercutting it, and this is the area that's going to see the burst of, moderate to heavy snow this morning. Okay, radar forecast will show you when the mess comes to an end. Let me give you a perspective here. Here's Detroit. Okay. Here's Flint, Saginaw. You can see the Saginaw Bay. Here's Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo. Checking in from Columbus, Ohio, heading to Canton, Michigan in a few. You're going to have the changeover as it comes south. Okay. All right. Here's 8 o'clock radar forecast. 9 o'clock. And what you could see is that right along the changeover is where you get the heavier snow. But this is a solid snow in here when you see the darker blues. Okay, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, noon, 1 o'clock this afternoon. So it's probably done in the Saginaw Bay City area, down to Lansing, done in Grand Rapids, certainly by 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock, ending in Flint and most of the thumb. 3 o'clock, lightly still going in the Detroit, Ann Arbor, Monroe areas. Hey, Walt from Flint, thanks for checking in. Hey, Dwayne, no sweat. And this is 4 o'clock this afternoon, still maybe hanging on in Detroit, and then over at 5 o'clock. But now, again, bear in mind, you're going to have temperatures dropping into the teens everywhere. So just because the snow ends doesn't mean things are going to turn instantly great. How much snow in Flint? Okay, we're going to get to that right now. Let's go to it. Here's the weather map. Here is the high-resolution rapid refresh model, and you could see it building up. And I think it's been pretty consistent to show the heaviest band of snow, Owasso, Lansing, up through Saginaw, up into Caro, Sebewaing, Caseville. Band right here. Another 4 inches from right now. Those places have had 1 to 2 inches. So this is the total snow of 5 to 6 right here. Flint, you haven't had any. So you're going to be a total of about 4, it looks like. And again, this is the total. Well, let me go into the afternoon more and get it all done. Okay, this is by 5 o'clock. So as you get down to Ann Arbor, you're probably 2 inches. Detroit, you're probably 2 inches. over to Lansing, you're probably 4. And look at the rapid cutoff. Lansing to Grand Rapids, from 4 to almost nothing. Kalamazoo to the west, almost nothing. So this is the heavy axis of snow right here, about 25 miles wide. And then to the southeast of that, you get about 2 to 3 inches. And to the northwest of that, you get not much at all. Look at the cutoff from Bay City up going toward the Midland area. So there will be a sharp cutoff. Can't say that it's exactly going to be in that exact location, but right now it's looking like it's going to set up that way. And here's a change too. I want to show you. I always look from run to run. This was an hour ago. This is why I like that high resolution. Rapid refresh means it runs every hour, so we get a new look every hour. And this is a pretty good indicator of total snowfall, because this includes the 1 to 2 inches that Saginaw picked up in the last hour. And so you can see how pretty consistent it is from hour to hour on the run. This is the old run, new run. Of course, a little lower because we've used up 2 inches of the snow already. And then here's probably the most unpleasant part of this whole thing, is it's going to turn sharply colder. Here's the temperature forecast. Renee says Chelsea is all ice right now. 1 to 3 inches in Jackson. Helen Spike, does that mean right now you have 1 to 3 inches of snow? Here's 8 o'clock. Detroit. And then 9 o'clock. So in the next 2 hours is when Detroit starts to ice up. And the southeast, Ann Arbor, you will be iced up here in, I would say, the next hour, definitely 2 hours. And then look at areas to the north, down to 24 in Flint, 21 Saginaw, 22 Grand Rapids, teens in the north. So Vassar is supposed to get about 6 inches. I think that's on the top side. I would call it 4, and there might be 5 or 6. Yes, Vassar would kind of be right in that area. Okay, let's go to 10 in the morning. Detroit's down to 27. Flint down to 21. Let's go to 11, and let's go to noon. Sarah Hutchinson, Saginaw Township total, I would call it at least 4, maybe 5. I think the 6 is going to be probably not happening or isolated. We got our granddaughter today, and this is probably going to be a good snow, and she's been wanting to make octonauts snow people. Vegemals. So we got to figure out how to do that. That's a chore for later on this afternoon. How much would you say for Saginaw County, Croswell? Okay, I want to just go back to, hey, good morning, Julie Guizdala. Nice to see you, hear from you. This is noontime, and you're down in the low 20s, so things are definitely going to freeze up pretty quickly. What about driving from Jackson to Frankenmuth? You're going to have the mess the whole time. Okay, let's go back to the snowfall map, and my phone is telling me that it's running low and it doesn't seem to be charging. Okay, so somebody asked about Sanilac County. I would say you're probably in the 2 inches in Sanilac County. Any other questions on certain cities? I can hit those right now. And remember, the precipitation is all generally over by noonish, but then it's just bitterly cold after that. Got to be in Farmington Hills from Ann Arbor at 1 p.m. Hey, good morning, John Heiner. What's the drive like? Hills to Ann Arbor, you will have already had the rain change to freezing rain to snow, and you're going to have icy roads. South Lyon, I would say about 2 inches. Temperance, I'd say about 2 inches. Have to drive to St. Clair County. How bad? Around 4 to 5 p.m. Now, it's all going to be over by this afternoon. So it's just a question of how much stays on the roads and how much the colder air will do. Okay? Midland. Hold on a second, folks. I got somebody trying to get... Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I could tell that call was just going to keep coming. Holly, you're probably at about 3 to 4 inches, I would say. John Heiner says no school in Saline. All right. Snow day at the Heiner residence. Good morning. Ypsilanti to Chicago, heading out now. Okay, let's go back to the radar. I would go. You're gonna have a mess. There's no way to get through that without coming through the rain to freezing rain to snow zone. There's just not. So I guess what I would say is Pontiac is 32 right now. You're going to have icing up pretty quickly. Even if you drop south, that is moving so quickly southeast. There's just no way around it. You're going to have crazy stuff. Teresa, I do not track the Saginaw schools, so I couldn't tell you. Brighton. Someone asked me, why isn't this school closed? I said, hey, I'm not a superintendent. I'm a meteorologist. Okay. Brighton, I think you're probably about 2 to 3 inches total and about 1/10 of an inch of freezing rain. Alrighty. Okay, so Troy, you're at about, I'd say a total of about 2 inches or so. Ryan Jill says, coming down in Midland. Yeah, Midland, I was starting to answer that question. You're in the taper-off zone, so you could have 2, maybe 3 inches, and then northwest of Midland, maybe not. Wyandotte, I think that's how you say it. You're probably at about 2 to 3 inches also. Are the winds turning north later, and will we get lake effect snow in Port Huron? Yes, that is another good question. The winds are turning north later on, and right in this part right here, eastern Huron County, Sanilac County, tomorrow, is when you could see a couple of inches of snow right along that edge. Livonia, I would say about 2 to 3 inches. Saying it's a whiteout in Lansing right now. What time is it supposed to start in Troy? Very quickly, I would say. You're again at 32 in Pontiac, 29 in Flint. So I would say within the next hour, you're going to be changing over to snow in the Troy area. Wendy Ross, Flint, you're going to probably wind up with, I would say, about 4 inches of snow. Waterford's going to end up with about 2, maybe 3 inches. Is it me, or was today's forecast very difficult to make? All forecasts are difficult. No, I think this one is behaving, actually, except that we have what I call a mesoscale, almost convective band of snow, and it's a 10 to 15 mile wide thing, but otherwise everything is right on down. I'm going to have to say down to the minute as far as changeover from what we expected here in the last couple of days. Bay City, yeah, you're looking at solid 4, maybe a little more on the east side, maybe a little less on the west side. Any lightning with the snow? I don't think so. I haven't seen any yet. Does all of this involve ice? There's about a 1 hour period of freezing rain before the snow. So you have rain. The scenario is rain to 1 hour of freezing rain, a little bit of sleet, and then it changes to snow. Good morning, Saginaw. How much accumulation? I would call Saginaw a solid 3 to 5 inches of snow. Do you know about the UP Kinchlow? They don't have much going on in the UP with this one until lake effect kicks in. In fact, when you're looking at this map, you can see that the end of the snow is pretty much in Midland County, and as you go northward, not much at all. Alrighty, so your update, it's going as planned. Here's the recap. Southeast Detroit area, watch out. You're above freezing. You'll go below freezing the next hour. Everybody else is below freezing already. Temperatures continuing to plunge. So the rain goes to freezing rain, goes to snow, and we're talking a burst of 2 to 4 inches here between now and noon. So I would call it heavy, at times. I wouldn't call this a major snowstorm, but it's just a change and the plunging temperatures. We're going to be in the teens by this afternoon, so I can only predict the weather. I can't predict what the roads will do, but I'm just telling you that as it gets colder, it will be tougher for the roads to clean up into the afternoon. So I'd expect icy roads there. We'll keep you updated on MLive. I think it's going to behave. I'm going to go eat some breakfast. I can smell it now. My wife's making some eggs and hash browns. We have Octonauts on TV today because Marley's with us. We were supposed to go to the Saginaw Children's Museum, but that's been canceled. So you have yourself fun. Keep updated and join us on the MLive Facebook page to give us reports. We'll talk to you through the day. I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. Be safe.